Yes, indeed, powerful people. This is another episode of Breaking the Machine. I'm your host, Ahmad the Poet, alongside my partner, Spank the Bank.
What up, though? What up, though?
And today we'll be taking another instrumental step in shifting the culture. And today we have a special guest on the podcast. Not only is it a special guest, we got a legendary hip hop artist, legendary in Detroit, and top 5 lyricists of all time. We got the special guest, Royce the 5'9", on the podcast with us. How you doing, Royce?
Yo, what's up?
I appreciate you for being here with us.
What up, though, man?
How you feel?
I'm feeling good.
I wanted to start off by congratulating you on your Grammy nomination for Best Rap Album.
Thank you.
And
Yeah, appreciate that, man.
I had saw you do a post on I think it was Instagram, and you was talking about how it kind of changed the way that you was looking at the Grammys now after you had got nominated. Could you speak on that a little bit? Like, I mean, if it changed at all, or
Nah, I mean, it ain't really changed. I was cracking a joke, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But, you know, I know a lot of people on the Grammy committee, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been doing a little bit of research, due diligence, just trying to figure out why we seem to come up short. When I say we, I mean us in black music. We seem to come up short in some sort of way every Grammys, you know what I mean? So what I'm finding is it's just not a lot of enough black people sitting in those seats. So it's not what you would assume that it would be. Like it's not. I just assume outward intentional racism, but it's really not that at all. It's really like just the people who need to make the decisions aren't privy to our culture like that. They're not aware of our culture like that. So it's more of like an overlooked thing. You know, like we don't make up enough of the percentages of the people who make the decisions. So what we're doing now is just we actively working. I'm actually about to start sitting on the board myself. And just putting more people in those seats just to make sure that, you know, that we get represented properly. So, I mean, but of course that's gonna change my feelings about it. Any area where you do some research and you come up with something, and you come up with answers for questions or more answers than you got questions, because usually things pose more questions than answers. So once I just realized that, it made the way that I felt about the Grammys change. But just getting nominated didn't really change too much of anything. But I never was like anti-Grammys or anything like that. It never was something that I ever was really focused on so much. But the way that it did change is I'm focused on it this year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm focused on the the broadcast. I'm focused on how they're gonna do it. I'm focused on whether I'm gonna win or not, because it's always good to get recognized by your peers. That always feels good. You know what I'm saying?
That's big, man. The Grammys big. Like, that's real big.
Yeah, you don't want to hang your, you don't, as artists, we don't want to like hang our hats on it, but
that's big. I ain't gonna lie, especially just coming from the city, to like just to see that's big. You inspiring a lot of young black males, and what you pick back what you said, like that's the reason why we behind, because not a lot of us in office for a lot of things. So like that's, to me, that was big what I just got from you, because that is true. Like we think it's a race thing. In reality, it's really not. It's just our people are not in these positions to help
representation.
us out.
Yeah,
So,
it's always a little. It's a little bit of both. You know, to me, everything is about race.
Okay.
Everything about race. Everything in America is about race, and it's not because that's what I want it to be. It's just because that's what it is. You know, so if we're thinking about something, if we're thinking about a whole genre of music where we make up a large percent of the market share, and we don't have faces in the seats to represent that percentage, that's about race. You know what I'm saying? Because even if it's just the ignorance, and when I say ignorance, I don't even mean in a disparaging way. Just like even if it's the ignorance of people who aren't people of color, as it pertains to our culture, that's about race. You know, because that's what the culture clash is: people not being people of color and understanding what they're representing and the decisions that they're making, what that's representing. A lot of times it's just like, if I go back to the Grammys, it's like somebody calling their daughter and being like, who do I vote for? Oh, Macklemore. All right, cool. You know what I mean? And then that's how Kendrick loses the Grammy. And to me, that's important. It's super important, and that's about race. You know what I'm saying? So it's not always about racism.
But I get,
Yeah,
I get what you said though. I get you. It's still cold blooded.
Yeah.
You said something on Cannon's class. You said being socially irresponsible is damn near worse than being racist.
It is, man.
So that is the same thing. It's like it's like you said, it's racism in a way, but it's really like being socially irresponsible, not understanding that representation is needed, and how
We don't pick up a book, bro. I ain't gonna lie, we don't read at all. Like we was really taught to not read for real.
But a lot of it too, though. It's a social intelligence. You know what I mean? Like social awareness. That can't always come from a book. Sometimes it has to come from keeping an open mind, even when you're not setting out to take in information. You know what I mean? Like, if we all go to the library right now, old school style, just go to the library, we'll all go in there in the mind frame. All right, we about to read some shit. We gonna learn some shit. You know, but where you can learn your most valuable lessons, you can step right out there and be waiting for your Uber Eats, and some shit can happen. That's a teachable moment that can change your life that you may miss. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's who you surround yourself with. It's everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Especially for like our generation. See, our generation already had that following or structure of older males to really like guide us. So like, what can you really say to us, like us young brothers, about like competition? I feel like it's a lot of our generation do a lot of competition, and that's not getting us nowhere. So like for older generation, what would you tell us?
In terms of music or just in life?
Just in life.
That's a good question. I mean, being competitive is great. That's a great thing. And you're a young black man, so that shit is innately in you already. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things, man, and that's the reason why I said it's a good question, because it's that shit can work against you, it can work with you, depending on how you use it, depending on how you apply it. I come from a family, like my dad kept us in shit. He kept us in basketball, boxing, just things that, where you can use your competitive nature and you can apply it in a way, even when you're being aggressive about it, you can apply it in a way that's positive. It's going in a positive direction. And I think he chose boxing for the yin and the yang. Like basketball is like you learn a whole lot of team. You learn a whole lot of team lessons. You learn how to play on a team. You learn how to play. You learn that it ain't no I in team. You learn that it ain't just about you. You learn it's social benefits that come from it. Just, feeling like you got other people to fall back on and having an understanding of structure and like, this is the power forward. This is the small forward. I'm the point guard and where everybody should be on the court. All of that shit applies in life. You know what I'm saying? But then when you go boxing, like you can talk all of the shit you want, but as soon as it go ding ding, it's just you.
It's just you.
You know what I mean? Nothing else matters. Nothing you can say that's gonna save you. You gotta figure it out. Nothing nobody can teach you. You can have the best teachers in the world. They cannot fight for you. You gotta do it. And I think that's important. You know what I'm saying? So like it's good in those instances. Now, outside of that, if it's just you being competitive and you not having an understanding of your own feelings, then shit, man, you may think you're being competitive when you really just hating. You ain't really been in a situation to really be able to control it. You got to be in control of your emotions. This is the time to be in control of your thoughts and your emotions. If ever that shit get the best of you, then you taking time bomb. It's only a matter of time before something happens that's beyond the scope of your control, because it's already enough shit outside those doors that's that. You know what I'm saying? So I always try to keep myself in positions where I can just be in control of my emotions and the environment. You know what I mean? That's why I try not to, in my 20s, nigga, I was doing video shoots, standing out in the street, like just at a video shoot, 10 of us on the corner with cameras, and you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that shit is exciting, but it's dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like, Nipsey was standing out in front of his own establishment, you know. So to me, it's just it's about that. But
You move different as the older you get.
yeah, because you learn from not moving right. That's life. That's how it goes. So it's like, and you know, we don't always listen. I'm sure somebody told me not to stand on the corner. You know, but yeah. So that to answer your question, dog, I think it's just about understanding what your competitive nature is, and then understanding how to just control it, and to understand who your opponent is. You know, like a lot of times we competing with each other, but we're not against each other, and really a lot of there's not many ways that we're each other's like, you know, like opponent. Really, it's like we more like counterparts. We more like contemporaries, especially in the music business. You know, we may not be all one team, but you know, like there are decisions that are made at all of us as one. You know, there's decisions being made by corporations and powers that be where they actually come together to make them, and they're to our detriment. So why would we be competing with one another and trying to build relationships with them? It's the other way around. You know what I'm saying?
So when it comes to because we was having a conversation the other day, and we was talking about mental health and therapy. When it comes to therapy, it's a lot of different stigmas that's put on therapy, and like you said, you got to be very socially aware and emotionally aware in this time. Like, what do you think is something that you would tell people, or especially young people, just like to take that stigma off it? Because when you think about therapy, you think about weakness, you think about issues, you think about problems. I have a problem now since I need therapy, or since I'm talking to somebody, something's weird, something's wrong with me. Like, what would you say in order to take that stigma off, or what took the stigma off for you?
Well, a lot of our preconceived observations and like all of just the whole picture of things that where we came to a resolution in our mind, and this is what therapy looks like, or this is what that looks like, or this is what whatever looks like. It comes from, and it's not been taught to us, it comes from some shit, from some place of like non-education, or just an assumption, or you know, like jokes being cracked about something or something like that. Like, it's not anything that we feel about therapy. It just comes from it's just passed down from generation to generation, whether it's our dads cracking some jokes about it, or how it was talked about in school, or how it was talked about just outside on the block. You know what I mean? Like, so I don't think I've never heard a black person who has some disparaging shit to say about therapy say that they've been to therapy. You know? So like, to me, it's just about unlearning some of the shit that that we just take in, just unlearning some of it, and just realizing how many things are out there that are put in place to help people better themselves, whether that be mentally or physically. You won't say that shit about the gym. You won't be like, I ain't going to no gym, but I want some muscles. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like, also, if you think about it, there is no such person. Like, if something's wrong with you, like mentally, there is no person that can fix you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no job that does that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't learn how to talk to somebody and fix this. You know what I'm saying?
Learn that from yourself.
Yeah, therapy is a for me, it was a tool for me to be able to learn how to express myself. So I look at it like I'm talking to somebody who's skilled, who went to school and learned how to talk to me in a way where they can shift the conversation in certain directions. And when they do that, it opens up doors of different ways of me to unpack certain things that I want to say. So for me, it makes me better at articulating my thoughts, and it makes me better at unpacking some of the ways that I feel, and being able to articulate to other people what those feelings are. And that's important, to be able to do that. It's gonna be important to y'all when y'all married. It's gonna be important to y'all when y'all get married. It's gonna be important to y'all. It may determine whether y'all niggas is gonna get married or not. You know what I mean? Because women,
They bring some shit out of you.
yeah, and they know they are more in touch with their feelings, and they can. A lot of them, especially black women, a lot of them are exceptionally good at being able to voice that without therapy. You know what I mean? So, I mean, it's just being able to, just getting your mind in the programming yourself to start thinking just that in that way. Being able to communicate is an important tool for you. You know what I'm saying?
You don't think like them telling us don't be tough and stuff? I mean, don't cry and stuff made us like that though.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah,
That's one of them.
yeah.
That's one of them. I mean, I still feel that way about in certain instances. You know what I'm saying? Because that fall in the category of controlling your emotions. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, we
don't
show
suppress
emotions. They say it show weakness. Like hearing
Nah, I don't believe that part of it. But see, I ain't riding with that side of it though. Like it's showing weakness. That's who taught us that was just that person showing us ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Because I honestly believe that they believe that. I believe my dad believed that. I believe that. You know what I mean? I believe football coach believe that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think getting in touch with your feelings early and being able to at least try to control it, like after a football game or something, especially if you somebody on the team, me as a coach, I'm supposed to be able to identify with the kids who have the more leadership qualities than others. And if there's one who's in my mind more of a leader, that I would probably try to push him a little bit more in the direction of just trying to, if he can, control it and let it out at right times, and try to be able to see that, like, because there's other kids that are going to follow you. We don't want everybody crying every time we lose, because losing is all right, but we're going out here to win. We're trying to win. It's all right to lose. It's all right to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if that's not expressed correctly, you're socially engineering an individual who ends up growing up afraid to make mistakes, and that shit can cripple you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can paralyze you. Like, when you don't know what can come from you making a mistake, you may just do nothing, and that's worse than anything you can do.
Sports. Damn, I'm thinking about football. Like, especially in high school, I played football all through high school. I could just remember me messing up with coaches on my ass. It'd be like, damn, I couldn't remember the playbook. Used to fuck. I swear, bro, I'd be like, I'm trying to remember it, but I always think about, damn, if I mess up, because it take me out the game, get on my ass. Like, I remember that. Like,
think about that music as like artists. Y'all, you do music, you fuck around.
I don't do music, but I love it.
I make music. I make beats.
You don't write or nothing.
No, but I got the ear.
Yeah, see, like, the worst place you could be, and it's exactly what you just said. The worst place you could be when you're trying to create is in your head.
Yeah.
When you're trying to do well, when you're trying to perform well, if you're on stage, if you in your head, like when I'm in my head and I'm thinking about things that could go wrong, that's when I tend to like forget lyrics, and it's a zone that we all get in. So we use it. We talk about it in sports. We talk about it. It's in music. We want to get in our zone. Shit, it's getting in our zone just mean out of our head.
Out of our head, yeah.
That's all it means.
I was in my zone before I got here.
Yeah, you just ain't. You're not thinking about nothing. What's gonna go wrong, because it's just flow. It's just a flow. You know what I'm saying? And it's, especially if you're a natural, but it's always somebody that can step up and fucking get in your head and have you thinking about shit when you don't need to be. That's what great producers do. Great producers. What makes a producer great to me, outside of the music aspect of it, is the psychology of it. Like, I like DJ Premier because of how much I like DJ Premier. You know what I mean? I think that's why me and him make good music together. I don't think it matters that he makes music. He makes music that sounds like it could be from a certain era. He could be making music that sounds like it's from 30, 31. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not gonna matter if we connect vibe. But the better I like people, the better we can collab. You know what I mean? Slaughterhouse, like, we we did great shit together because we fuck with each other. You know what I'm saying? Like that's to me, that's what I think the reason is. I don't think it got nothing to do with how good everybody could rap and shit like that. Because
The vibe.
people try to collaborate all the time.
The vibe. It gotta be a vibe.
If y'all think about it, bro, have you ever thought about like really, really big, successful artists when they get together? How like 7 times out of 10 that shit does not work and it doesn't turn out good. You ever wonder why that was? Because I still can't fucking figure it out.
You think now or just back then?
Period.
Yeah, period. Yeah.
I don't know.
Jay-Z and Beyonce are my two probably. That's Barack Obama and Michelle Obama to me.
I ain't gonna. That Chris Brown and Drake song was a hit though.
No. They got some good shit. They got some great shit together, but everything they do when they come together is not like.
Oh yeah,
It's not like that's Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Do you count groups or no?
Groups that just got formed for a particular purpose, yeah.
Like Earth, Wind, and Fire. Like you count them?
That's just a group.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
talking about like
separate. Yeah.
separate. I know. That's all I'm asking. Like,
yeah, I'm talking about like Kanye getting with Garth Brooks, fucking Paul McCartney, and that shit just being terrible.
no, that
You know what I mean? Like Prince and Michael Jackson. You know
that shit would have never worked.
you ever heard of Prince? A story that Prince was supposed to be on I'm Bad.
Yeah, but he said he didn't want to say my butt is mine.
Do you know how terrible that song would have been if Prince would have sang that second verse?
Still been. Your butt is mine.
That shit would have been fucking terrible, bro.
Hey, Mike did his thing on that though.
Yeah, it was perfect how it was.
Like, all right, so who were your pioneer of music you like listen to back when you was around our age? Like in the 70s and the 80s.
Shit, well, the 80s probably. Let me see. I was listening to Michael Jackson, Prince, Rick James.
Rick James cold blooded.
Rap wise, I used to listen to Run DMC. You know, I had a big brother and shit, so I used to listen to Run DMC, Ice-T, NWA. You know, like, but I started being like inspired to like make music. Probably like Redman, Nas, you know, like Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic, Muddy Waters. You know, Redman, Nas, Jay-Z. That's as far back as I could go to be inspired. Because we was having this discussion on Clubhouse. They were saying the Rapper's Delight, the song, influenced every single thing that's lyrical now. And I said, I disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not personally inspired lyrically by Rapper's Delight, but I realize how important of a song it is, foundation-wise. But, you know, like, the thought that everything creative all links back to one place is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I didn't even like Rapper's Delight growing up like that. You know what I mean? Like, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, all those guys, like, I look at them
New York
as lyrical legends. But and for me to get lyrically inspired, the farthest back that I probably could go is probably Nas. Nas, Jay-Z. Yeah, man.
That all come from one place too, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah. So if you think of who inspires Nas and then who inspires Rakim, like I can be inspired by Nas. Nas can be inspired by Rakim, but it don't necessarily mean I'm inspired by Rakim.
Yeah.
But you're inspired by Nas. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, because I'm not inspired by everything that is Nas. You know what I'm saying? Because I love Rakim, you know, but it's something about Nas that make me want to rap. It's certain little nuances that he has that he may have picked up from Rakim that translates to me better.
Yeah, I like your flow. Like, I like a flow I could ride to. That's me. I ain't gonna lie. That's me. It's just, if you got a flow I could ride to, I'm rocking with it. But that's how I grew up, though. Like,
That's some Detroit shit.
Yeah, that's just how I grew up. Shoot, my uncles and them, that's what we listen to. Nas, you know, Jigga, T.I., like something we can just ride to and just lean back in. Shoot, that's how, it's crazy. I remember that song, you know, Chips on Pistons. I remember. And my uncle Bronco just, you know what I'm saying, just vibing. That's just how we was. Like the flow.
Chips on Pistons and Broncos just go with each other.
The flow was just, ooh.
Some Detroit shit.
But I think something that you said earlier was real crucial when you talk about getting out of your head in order to get in your zone. Because I was having a conversation with one of my close friends, and he was telling me, like, one of the hardest things to do is when people tell you, like, man, you great, and if you constantly keep doing what you're doing, you'll get to success eventually. But I think what stops a lot of people, and something that, you know, is really hard on me, is when people tell me, like, man, if you keep going, you do big things. But it's like, I'm doing exactly what people say, but I want to adjust it because I don't get the success that I want in a certain amount of time. Do you think that just comes with patience? Even if you're doing the right thing, the timing might not be right where you want it to be?
Yeah, I think we got to understand that we can't control exactly the way that things are going to go in terms of building success, because what's going to happen is, and what you're going to find, what you're going to learn is that when it comes to success, the more you accumulate, the more subjective it's going to become. You know, so you're going to learn that success is basically just going to be what you feel success is, because what we do is we look at other people and we gauge what success is off of what they're doing. And it's like, it's cool to look at them to get inspired, but you'll never have the exact identical journey as somebody else. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So patience is always going to be the key, because lack of patience is what's going to put you back in your head, because now you're thinking about shit not happening fast enough. So, like, to me, I look at that shit like it's like a journey. It's like a journey, but you got to, at some point, arrive at a place. You know what I'm saying? So it's a leap of faith. It's something to be said about just making a fucking commitment, man. Like making a decision. Like when you commit to something, it's like the universe knows now. It's like the universe answers back with opening up doors.
He behind
you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like if you don't make a commitment and you doing all of that shit that our parents taught us to do, like have a plan to fall back on and all of that shit, you can be in limbo.
Yeah, that shit, damn, bro.
You know what I mean? Like I don't preach that. I preach commit. Commit to it. And then once you make that commitment and you rule out other things and you get out of your head and you just take that leap, and it'll happen. Shit, probably unexpected.
Man.
You know what I mean? But you just keep building, you know what I mean? Like, and then I think people probably give you that blanket advice a lot just because of how you got your head screwed on tight. So it's like they probably just looking at you like it can happen at any moment just because you got sense. So what I would just suggest you do is just do whatever you feel like doing. Like just keep doing cool shit. You know, like if you wake up and you feel like I could probably fuck with a podcast, just do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Because that turns into other ideas. This interview may spark an idea for something non-related to even podcasting. But if you never would have even did the podcast, we wouldn't even be sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I look at it. I look at it just like, man, it may not just be one thing. It may be, you may look up and you may have 7 of these things that you're doing, and you may just look and be like, damn, I got 7 fucking streams of income. Yeah. Out of nowhere, because that's how people get rich.
See,
you know what I'm saying? Like people get rich off multiple streams of income. So it's like, then you'll get rich. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll be like, well, shit, this ain't even really what I feel success is. Like I don't feel like I thought I would feel. You know what I'm saying? Like
I like how you said that commitment. Just commitment to something. Like I guess I go with basketball. Like LeBron or Jordan. You know, they ain't really think about the money of the game. They just talk about the game. They was committed to the game. That's what made them so great. And like that's how, like that's greatness. I like that commitment.
Yeah. And then and then you get everything out of it that you're looking for, and even more. You know what I mean? Because shit is about practice, man. Like all of the shit we got taught when we was young, playing sports and shit like that. It all applies. It's about practice. You know, like the music shit. All of the shit, the podcast shit, it's just the more y'all do this, the better it's gonna get. You know what I mean? Just
consistency.
Yep. That's it.
Something I also wanted to touch on was like real estate. You know, I think one of the biggest things Detroit is known for is like its real estate, or like the amount of vacant homes or the amount of homes that's up for sale. And I know it's like a lot of people from all over the U.S., like, you know what I'm saying, L.A., Atlanta, New York, that buy real estate in Detroit. We was having a conversation with Courtney Bell, a local Detroit artist. And I said it as a joke, but it's like, I was saying, like, Detroit's one of the only places that you can go to and see like a 3-story trap house. Mm-hmm. Like, some of the most vacant homes here are huge, you know what I'm saying, and real, like, beautiful, but you could tell they once had, there was money flowing through here. What do you think it's gonna take in order to, like, get people from Detroit to start buying back Detroit, or it has that process already started?
I know a lot of people that's into it. You know, I think, you know, it's gonna take the disseminating of information. You know what I mean? Like, if you feel that it's a problem area, then I think if you develop the means to be able to do something about it, then you should just do something about it. You should just do your part and be vocal about that and be intentional with it. And that's going to inspire somebody else to want to do the same thing.
You just spoke on that.
Yeah, that's
you gotta
it.
stop moving out, bro.
Yeah, it's just you know, just being the change that you want to see. You know, like and then it turns into a wave, and then that's gonna bring in people who are gonna come fuck it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because that comes with it too. You know what I mean? Once people see that there's a bunch of people doing it, and here they come with their lack of knowledge and their non-willingness to do, you know, the due diligence and learn anything about it. You know what I mean? And just, you know, just got a hold of a pile of money. Now they want to go buying vacant houses, and that's it. They just sit there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an information thing. You know, it's about whoever learns how to do it the right way, do it, be the change that you want to see, and make sure that you're teaching somebody else that look like you, that's from where you from, or from somewhere that looks like where you're from. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just keep doing that. I think we'll be fine. You know what I mean? The key is to just keep the idiots away. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, line.
There's just too much of that going on. Man. But, you know, but that too, man. You know, everybody using these phrases on the internet and shit now, like generational wealth and all of that. Like, I don't want to hear anybody say generational wealth again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like, they getting on my fucking nerves. You know what I'm saying? Because people don't really know what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and it's becoming too wavy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
everybody trying to play rich.
Yeah, I want it to be just a way of life. I want it to just be a way of thinking. I don't want it to be a wave. I don't want it to be like a fad. It's really a rebuilding process, and a lot of it don't even apply to our generation no more.
At all.
Like, a lot of the building that we're doing is not even for us.
For generations after us.
Yeah. Yeah, so
you ain't even gonna see it.
Yeah. Because if you look at it, like, how it came to what it is, like generational wealth and all that, you know, the Rockefellers and all of these.
You're not even here to see all that.
Yeah, it's like the people who inherit this wealth, they don't really think about shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they don't, it's just in them. Like, they, you know, they learn what they need to learn in order to continue, you know, whatever the family business is or whatever that is, and that's just what it is. It's like, so if you look at it like that, it's really not about investing in a particular thing. It's just a way of thinking. That's it. You know, you can accumulate it off many things. You know what I mean?
It's funny because that made me think about when you was talking about the meme, the meme of Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg.
I hate that. I hate that.
And you, when you have Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg together, and they don't have no jewelry, no nothing on. Yeah. You know, probably got some Walmart clothes or something on, and they like, man, that's what real money looks like.
I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, I was about to say, because what's wrong with
black people hate their
Yeah,
shares.
that's what he was telling me. I was like, man, I never thought about it like that.
See, look, the internet, like, people have figured out how to make black people hate this, even hate the cool shit about ourselves.
Damn, I ain't
that's what he said. He was like, maybe they just don't know how to dress. He was like, maybe they just don't know how to dress.
When I seen that meme, I was like, what the fuck are y'all trying to say? That these motherfuckers ain't got no taste? Like, it's like, of course they don't have on nothing cool because they're not fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that don't make them cooler than me. I dress nice because I like nice shit. I don't expect fucking Zuckerberg to look cool.
Yeah.
He look cool at the Facebook offices. I'm cool everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So if I want to get in a goddamn picture with a Gucci belt on and a fucking mink wrapped around my fucking head, that's my business as long as I'm making smart financial decisions. That should be what you're pushing, like financial literacy, not you're stupid for spending money. How you know what the fuck? How do you know if that's a dumb decision if you don't know what my financial affairs are? You know what I mean? Like, it may be dumb for somebody to put a $22 million on their forehead, or maybe not. Depends on what the person's situation is.
Yeah.
I never looked at that meme like that. That's why I'm over here like, dang, I ain't think they make you want to hate yourself. I want to like no Bill Gates.
It's only dumb if you're like doing it to fucking cut your own fucking economic throat. You know what I'm saying? But if you, come on, man, like,
I ain't never think about it like that.
I ain't even tell you, but I was like, man, that's crazy.
yeah, bitch, we got black people afraid to buy things. Got black people afraid to do record deals. You know, like the average black person is afraid to do a record deal.
Yeah.
More so than they are just in the thought process of let me learn what I need to learn so I can't get put in a bad deal. You know, it shouldn't be that. Nobody should be afraid to do a record deal. Nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong with major labels. It's nothing wrong with them. It's just that you just need to understand that they're going to profit off of your ignorance. If it's there, they're going to see it and they're going to profit off of it. If you go in there and you know how to do a deal, and if they want to be in business with you, you're going to do a good deal because they want to be in business with you. They don't only do bad deals. They do bad deals with young black people coming into the door because we don't know shit.
No, we don't.
That's all. But it's not. It doesn't make them bad. It just makes them some motherfuckers with money who want to invest in something and make profit off of it, and they want to make the most profit. They want the most reward for the lowest risk. So that's gonna happen to you anywhere where it involves corporation.
Yeah, it's all set up the same.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, it's what it is. That's America.
I got a question about the Detroit rappers and artists. Why like y'all never started like a label to sign a lot of the young Detroit artists to get them, you know?
When you say y'all, y'all who?
Like the old heads, Detroit pioneers, rappers, and
I don't know if that'd be a good idea, to be honest with you. You know, because it's like, in theory, I could see why somebody would probably think that would be what we need, but I think if you really, really look at it, you got so many different styles of rappers and singers and shit from Detroit, from so many different parts of Detroit that do totally different things from each other. They don't even fuck with each other. Some of them do. And I think that's a strength, like to have all of those different styles and shit like that from all of those different places, if it's used to our advantage. But to try to put everybody under one umbrella, you know, like I think that freedom is what's gonna make us stronger. I think what we just need to do is we need to carry ourselves like we all under one, but not necessarily contractually binding together, but just we one as Detroiters, you know what I'm saying, to support each other like such. I think we'd be great because we getting all the attention that we ever wanted, you know, like all of the young rappers are getting all the attention, you know, the world is like Detroited out.
I feel like we always been getting the attention though.
There was a point in time where we was when you was riding around with your uncle in the Bronco.
Yeah, I mean
At that time, like Blade didn't get the attention nationally that he would be getting now.
yeah, but we was still in people's ears. Like we was still around. Like I just feel like Detroit was always like the city period was always.
I feel like you can be relevant in the city,
you know what I'm saying?
not relevant to the world.
Bro, it got put down. It got put down long ago.
Yeah,
people been on Detroit shit.
I feel like they been stealing our swag. That's how I be feeling.
Yeah, but one thing I noticed about that is that people they'll do that, but they not gonna admit it until they got to.
Yep.
So when they just admitting it.
They been taking.
You know, people been calling me. it's a lot of motherfuckers that been like a lot of MCs. I got told by somebody that he felt like I was the best a long time ago, and it's somebody who been called the best. You know what I'm saying? So like, but it's just be private via text. You know what I mean? Motherfucker ain't gonna publicly say it unless he, unless he feel like it's time. He got to. So it's up to you to go make it time. You know what I mean? Like Chris Paul's bad motherfuckers. Steph, they some bad motherfuckers, but people ain't really give it up to Steph until he went and started taking rings.
Yeah.
He started running up the scoreboard. He ain't give him no choice.
No, he didn't.
I feel like no city has been able to do that for real, for real. Closest maybe like Atlanta, in order to
They not even
get
close,
artists
dog.
together in that type of way. But I don't really feel like that's something that's really possible right now, just because people are just different. Everybody has diversified, different things they want to do.
I think anything possible though. I mean, I think that idea would be better if it was like on a more global, like a more national level. Like if P, Hove, Puff, JD, if all of them got together and just formed one crazy ass label, I think that'd be more beneficial to us.
Yeah.
Than to just isolate our city.
They so much in business now. I don't even see them doing that.
It's not necessary. But I mean, if you just that theory, I think that'd be more beneficial if it was done that way. But I don't think it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's more of the way we think that's necessary to me. Like we just got to think like one. Once we start doing that, man, a lot of shit is gonna change.
What's like your daily inspiration? Like when you're making new records, like what inspires you on the daily? Because I have different things. Sometimes I be in a slump and I don't feel like putting out content or different things like that. But it's just like maybe just like walking around the city, or just Detroit inspire you in a way. Like do you ever just like roll around the city and just like get inspiration that way, or just like different things in daily life?
It was a point in time where I did. I haven't been like rolling around and getting inspired in a long time. Like when I did my last album, I got inspired just off trying to learn how to make beats. Like that whole process, just practicing. Now, during the pandemic, I've been more focused on like building so I can get ready to start creating more content. So that whole process of just building all of this shit, like that whole process is just, I was inspired to do it, so I did it. Like I think after just being in it a certain amount of time, you start to, especially if you taking steps to become self-aware, more self-aware throughout the day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm to a point now where I know when I'm inspired, and I know I kind of got an understanding of what I'm inspired to do when I feel inspired. When I feel inspired to do things, I just do those things. So I haven't really been doing music like that. Like I've been doing features here and there. And sometimes I just get inspired to do them. People call me to do them because of who it is. Like if Black Thought asked me to do a feature, that's inspiring to me. So I'm inspired to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but in terms of just like doing an album, I don't even look for inspiration to do albums. It's just like I just let that shit come to me. You know what I mean? And right now it's just like I ain't really been thinking about even really making music like that. I've been so excited about going down a rabbit hole, like learning cameras and what the different lenses do. You see the lights and shit like that, like the different ones. Why is these so cheap? Because I bought these from Amazon. I'm like, why are these motherfuckers so cheap? And why is there lights that exist that cost so much? Why? What's the difference? Like I go down those rabbit holes.
What I'm hearing from you right now, it sounds like you saying it's no wrong taking a break and learn something new.
Yeah.
From something. That's why, like, cause sometimes we could be focused on just trying to steady put out content on this thing, but we don't never want to take a break and like, bro, let me learn something else. Or just, I know this, but take a break for a second. When I mean take a break, I'm probably just learning something else.
That's what I feel like a true artist is. When your brain just constantly wants to be creative with multiple things. You don't want to just do one thing all the time.
Yeah, I mean, and then is it really taking a break, or is it just, like a pivot? Because the world pivots. The world takes breaks. Shit. America took a break. This whole pandemic is a fucking break.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a long break.
It's a break. So I mean, this is a time. Shit, while the world is taking a break, I looked at it like it's a time. This is the perfect time to learn something new. You know what I'm saying? This is the perfect time to like really totally put one thing down and pick another thing up, and it's okay because of the way of the world right now. It's in limbo. You know what I mean? So, but that go back to just reading the room, learning how to read in the room. You know what I mean? Making sure that you picking the right time to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just keeping the flow going, keeping yourself busy, but not just doing busy work, but just working smart.
I wanted to ask you lastly about the Ryan Montgomery Foundation. Like, what y'all was actually been working on that? Because I saw you do. I think you had a article
Damn, I can't think of it.
in the Detroit Press, and he was talking about it, the rollout of the foundation, basically mental health advocacy, and what the.
Well, the purpose of the foundation is just so I can do anything that I want to do, you know, just in terms of giving back to the environment. I hate saying that, but just, you know, just it's like this, like what I was saying earlier, you know, like we somehow become the whatever percent of the lucky people who make it out of these environments, and then you can turn around and look at the environment and see it for what it is, and see the things that you feel can be fixed, or the things that you feel are the reasons why we're put behind the 8 ball, and all of the different ways that we're put behind the 8 ball, and make you want to kind of help just fix it or just fill those voids and shit like that. So the foundation is just so I can do any of those things. So the first thing that I wanted to focus on is the mental health stigma and mental health awareness and mental health availability. You know what I'm saying? So I use the foundation to launch a mental health initiative that just gives free mental health care, you know, to whoever from our environments, whoever. But the focus is the underserved communities, and just to make it available to people, you know, no health insurance for nothing, just make it available. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's just a step. It's just the first step, and then the next step is making them want it. You know what I'm saying? Like, making them actually want the fucking mental health, making them actually want the service. You know what I mean? Like, make them aware of how important
That's getting
it
back
is.
for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, I just realize it's a process, and I'm just down. I'm down. You know, I think when we see all of the problems that we have, and we can't sit down in a couple meetings and fix everything like that, we get
Frustrated.
we get frustrated, and we move on, and, you know, with our lives and shit. To me, it's just steps.
That's why you can't really enjoy your millions. You gotta really, just because you're gonna look like, damn, these niggas ain't got it. Fuck, gotta put some stuff back so they can, you know, catch up or understand.
Some niggas take their ball and go home, man.
Yeah.
You know, some niggas take their millions and go out to Hollywood, and you don't never see them again, and they'll never look at you again. You know, and they fine with that.
Yeah, no.
Me,
That's on them.
I'm not cool with that.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I appreciate you making yourself available, and I appreciate you doing this show. I really do appreciate that.
sure, man. Anytime.
Oh, yeah, man.
Anytime, my brothers.
But that's a wrap for this episode of Breaking the Machine. Tune in next week for another episode of Breaking the Machine. Detroit, Royce the 5'9", Breaking the Machine. We out.
Yeah. Appreciate the combo, man.
Come on, man. Anytime, my brothers.
We get a pick on Paul.